train is an important part of American history and an important part of our culture, right? So we have like the Wabash Cannonball, you know, Casey Jones, all these things. I actually saw Casey Jones in concert a couple times. I don't want my kids to know that, but I did. Okay? And for me, when I heard Teenage Kicks, I thought Teenage Kicks and the Long Island Railroad. Because, I mean, the Long Island Railroad, if you grow up next to it, it's like the center of the universe. Because you have your parents in the apartment, and then across the street you have the Long Island Railroad. So where do you think you're going to go? Okay, the Long Island Railroad. So I can think, this is almost like a medley, because I can think of so many things that happened around the Long Island Railroad. Howie Suttonberg stole cigarettes from his mother, and I had my first cigarette on the Long Island Railroad. Right, we're right by the tracks. Howie had the smokes. We said, yeah, let's try that. This is a good idea, right? Okay. Another thing, I don't know if has anyone lived next to a railroad? Yes. Have you ever done pennies? Oh yeah. On the tracks? Now that's a lot of fun. That's a lot of fun. Now, if pennies doesn't do it for you, and you happen to find a really big steel bar, they're even better. Okay? Now, I had this friend, Eric, who really tested that theory, and he's right. It's way better. I'll come back to that. The steel bar is an important thing. But for now, I'm going to talk about the first time I was mugged, which was next to the Long Island Railroad. Long Island Railroad is a shortcut to a lot of places because roads have to go around the railroad, but the railroad just goes, right? So like if you're in Great Neck, where I am, and you want to go to Manhasset, you got to go down a hill, around Hempstead Harbor, you got to do all this, Manhasset Bay actually, you got to do all this stuff to get to Manhasset. But if you're near the railroad, and you're not afraid of a maybe quarter-mile trestle, you could be there in no time at all. So me and my friend Howie Suttonberg decided to go to the movies in Manhasset. And we were like, hey, you know, do you want to go this way? So we did. And sure enough, we're halfway across the trestle, and a train is coming. When you grow up near the Long Island Railroad, you get to know how to, you know, listen for trains. So we're like, wow, you know, there's a train coming. So me and Howie are both skinny, you know, and young, so we figured, well, we're going to outrun this train. So we did. We could have probably like ducked on the side, but that was, you know, that would never occur to us that we should hide from the train. We were going to beat the train. So we did. We ran as fast as we could, and sure enough, we did. We got to the end of the thing, we jumped to the side, the train went by, it was like a Clint Eastwood movie. It was amazing. We made it, we crossed, we went to the movie, everything was great. We walked back, by the way, the long way. Okay? But anyway, let's get back to my friend Eric and the big metal pole. Because one of the things that's really fun about trains, you know, if you're a cave child like I was, is throwing rocks at them. Because, you know, they go by and there's nobody there, right? You know, it's just a big metal thing. You don't think about it. It's a train. They're strong. They don't stop. You can't hurt them. So we were throwing rocks at the trains, and Mark had this great idea to put this big rebar thing across the track. And we're throwing rocks, and Mark's got an idea. So he puts this rebar thing out there while we're all throwing rocks, and we're like, wow, shit, that's cool. You know, so we're watching this, and the train, sure enough, clang, clang, spark, fly, but the train does not derail, thank God, okay? We watch it, and we're just sitting there, and we're talking about what a cool thing this is, that we get to watch this bar and the spark crossing the third rail and the train coming by, and how exciting that was. We're all sitting there talking about this exciting story, and a helicopter comes. I don't know if you know this, but the guys in the trains, they have like walkie-talkies, and they can talk to the guys in the helicopters. And we're sitting there, and, you know, just thinking how cool we are, and, you know, how exciting it is, what just happened next to our train tracks, and a helicopter comes. So we're watching the helicopter thinking, what happened? Well, it turns out they were looking for us. So we see them coming, they're coming closer and closer, and then somebody, it probably wasn't me because I wasn't that quick, came up with the idea that, wow, these guys are after us and we better get the hell out of here. So we did. We ran as far as we could until we got underneath a bridge that the train goes under. And so we go under the bridge and we figure we'll wait there for the helicopter to go. So we're sitting there, and the helicopter goes down real low on one side. and he's on the loudspeaker on the PA system going, "Rrr, rrr, rrr, rrr." We couldn't hear anything that he was saying, but we knew he was talking to us. Okay? So we're under the trestle, and it goes down to this side. So what do? We go all the way to this side. So we're over here, and rrr, rrr. We're listening to the helicopter, and then he goes up, and he goes down, and he goes over here. So we go over here. And he's still going, "Rrr." So then we're thinking, okay, there's a pattern here. We know how to beat this thing, okay? So sure enough, he goes up, he goes over this way, he goes down here, he starts going, "Rrr," and we're gone this way. Okay? We followed this little trestle, these trees, we ran away, we basically got away from him. And that was my story, basically. That's Teenage Kicks and the Long Island Railroad. I have lots of other stories about the Long Island Railroad because that was where we hang.